Yo, One Lyfe family, how's everybody doing today, man? I hope everybody is doing good, man. Look, do me a favor, you guys. If this is your first time coming by the channel, I definitely want to welcome you by the channel. If you are returning, I want to welcome you back to the channel, man. If you haven't had a chance, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for me, please. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk some more to you about the Naziah Harris case, okay? There's a lot of information that are tied into these testimonies, ladies and gentlemen. And the first thing that I wanted to do, or one of the main things that I wanted to do, is, again, start from the beginning. Start from the person who took this investigation, who took the report pertaining to this investigation. Because when you start to really look into it for what it is, it's almost like Jarvis has a really good chance of beating this case. If you look at the inconsistencies that were done within the investigation. Star, what do you mean? Okay, I've been talking to y'all about this officer, Derek Wolfe, who was dispatched to the school. He was dispatched, not dispatched, I'm sorry. He was asked to go to the school by Lieutenant George Harris, okay? So that right there is where this whole ordeal is strange, okay? Because, mind you, he stated on the stand that he spoke to Annette around 11 or 12 o'clock.
And you said you met with Ms. Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's in January of 2020?
January, yes.
But that was early in the morning?
Around between 11 and 12.
So school was in session at that time?
Yes.
He said 11, 12 o'clock. Honestly, school is almost over at that time. Okay. So right there, this is all morning pretty much going into the afternoon before. Normally, you would call the police. You would get the police involved. But this is lingering on. She's already been missing since the day before. You haven't seen her this morning. It's been over 24 hours. You still haven't gone to the police. You wait till 11 o'clock to meet with Derek Wolfe, who has nothing to do with the school. He stated specifically that he had already, filed for his retirement. He was already getting ready to retire. You feel me? Lieutenant George Harris came to him and asked him to go over to the school. Him and a person named Neil Garner. Now, don't quote me on this, but I don't know who Neil Garner is. Okay? There are people in this whole ordeal that's like, well, where's this person? Why haven't they spoken out? Okay? Now, he said he met with Annette and them around 11 o'clock. He went out and did an investigation of 3 Mile and stuff like that. Mind you, Neil is helping him. So when y'all went out and y'all did this and y'all checked for ring cameras and all this, y'all only found 1 ring camera and talked to 2 children. Y'all didn't find the ID that the lady said that she found. Remember the lady came up with Naziah's ID and said she found it, took it to the police or something like that. Called the police to come get it, however. Because it's strange to me that evidence just started showing up. Mind you, this whole time, Jarvis is in jail on a whole different situation. So, okay, so he said he completed his investigation. He turned his stuff in. The lady asked him specifically. She said, "Hey, let's stick with this investigation part, okay? Because again, he does his investigation on January the 10th, okay? He turns this report over to George Harris, okay? They wrap up their investigation, turn over to George Harris. George Harris sits on it, because remind y'all, this is January the 10th. They don't go to the police till sometime in February. I forgot the exact date, but they went to the police like in February, okay? With a report from an investigator that they pretty much just accepted for what it was. Because mind you, Shannon Harris was down at the courthouse like January the 11th filing for child support or some kind of custody stuff against Jarvis. Why you didn't tell the police then that Naziah was missing? Because that would have been 2 days right now. Because you know why? Because the police would have locked their ass up. Point blank and period. Police would lock their ass up. Now, they asked the lady, Jarvis' attorney, the lady asked, do Naziah have a cubby or something like that in her classroom? He said, I don't know. She said, okay. So you pretty much didn't investigate that. So he said, I probably did, but just don't remember. She said, well, is it in the report? He said, no. She said, oh, okay, so you probably pretty much didn't investigate. Also, remember, he said he didn't talk to the teacher.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything where she stores items?
I can answer that question.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Fair to say then that you didn't check.
I may have, but I can't recall right now because
Is there
it's been such a long time.
Is there a report that documents whether you did or not?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that right there lets me know you didn't talk to no students. You didn't talk to the teacher. You don't know nothing about the cubbies and stuff in the classroom. You know why? Because you're not qualified to go in there and do that type of investigation because you're not the school resource officer and you're not the police department. You don't have that type of clearance to talk to those type of people. So you did whatever you did out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got that's another story. That's what you did, and you based your investigation off of the bare minimum, which Lieutenant George Harris held up for 30 days. Okay? Whole time, Jarvis is in jail. Mind you, they didn't even get text messages that started looking at Jarvis crazy with Naziah until Shannon Harris said she got him or found him in a tablet and turned him in. I'm just putting it out there. But, now, the investigator stated he didn't talk to the teacher. The teacher would have been the last one to have seen Naziah in class. She also would have been the one who would have been able to say whether Naziah was pregnant or not. Mind you, if Naziah was sitting in that classroom pregnant, you ain't finna be able to hide there for too long from no teacher, not no adult. I mean, now people, they do hide these type of things, but you know how women get sick, they gonna want to go to the bathroom, they get tired. There are certain things, y'all know how a woman, a mother, whatever, can tell another female pregnant and the woman ain't got to say nothing. So I'm just saying, my point is, he didn't talk to the teacher who could have very, very well said if Naziah was pregnant, if Naziah was in class or anything in between. Now, another thing, okay, I keep reiterating that they didn't turn this investigation in for 30 days. Now, if Naziah Harris' case wasn't turned in for 30 days, a month later, I know most school systems, if a student missed school, the first thing they're going to do is notify the parent. They're going to call. Your child didn't come to class, missed school. They're going to do that all the way up through high school, okay? Your child didn't come to class, your child didn't come to school, boom, 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 right? After so many days, I think, I know 10 days, but it might be 3, 5. It's different in different places. But after so many days of that child not coming to school, they gonna get the police and child protective custody and them people involved. The school gonna automatically do that. That wasn't done. Okay, y'all see what I'm saying? There is a lot of inconsistencies in this investigation before it even gets to Jarvis. I'm not here to defend Jarvis again, because like I said, I haven't even we gonna get into a lot about this case. But before we even get to that part, we got to start from the beginning and see and understand this whole ordeal. Okay? About the investigation part. This man did a 1-day investigation on a missing 13-year-old, turned it into his lieutenant, and nothing else was done until the police got their hands on it, which was over 30 days later. Whole time, and see, that's what I'm saying. If you watch the show First 48, the show First 48 tells you, hey, if we don't get some kind of lead or some kind of information or evidence in the first 48 hours, that's liable to be a cold case. More than likely. You see what I'm saying? Anything could have happened to Naziah over those 30 days before it got to the police. Again, Jarvis was sitting in jail the whole time. So if Jarvis had done something to Naziah on the 9th or the 10th, on the 8th or the 9th or anything in between those days, right? The 10th, specifically speaking. I mean the 9th. Had Jarvis done something to her on the 9th, first of all, I don't see him doing something to her, unaliving her specifically, and then going and turning himself in. Yeah. Hey, I've seen crazier, but I just don't see that working for him. But something allegedly happens to Naziah on this day, then he goes and turns himself in, okay? 30 days go by. 30 days go by. Because I'm trying to be very careful on how I say this. 30 days go by. Again, anything, Naziah could be moved here, could be moved there, could be moved anywhere. Anything could be going on in these 30 days. Anything. Nobody has no clue that Naziah, and that's crazy because the teacher, where is the teacher? Did anybody go back and talk to the teacher? That's crazy because my thing is this. When Naziah Harris didn't come to class for 30 days, you feel me? For 30 days. What was being said? Because, mind you, the police wasn't notified. Only this man, Derek Wolfe, took an investigation. He pretty much took the police report and gave it to the lieutenant. And that was that until, again, 30 days later, the police get involved. I think we know what we're looking at here. And I think this is where the initial problem starts. Now, we're going to get into other things. There's other information that I have that shows you that there's a lot of people involved in this. There is a major cover-up going on, and this thing is far beyond Jarvis's reach. If you think about it, this is more of a sabotage. You feel me? This is more of a sabotage situation. Although Jarvis is what he is, I mean, I can't say that he's an unaliver. Again, I don't know Jarvis. You know what I'm saying? But I do know how this situation looked. And I do know that nowhere in America does an investigation get held up for 30 days. One Lyfe family.